Kind of wanted to show you the intricacies of this whole side panel mod. To make this Y pipe work and the offie intake. I think if you go with the Clifford, you have to add even another 2 inches. Maybe not. This is about a 4-inch. Might be around the same, but I'm pretty sure with the carburetors and stuff, it'd have to be a bigger modification. We're going to try to get this Y pipe off, which has been modified. And, yeah. The other problem with this doghouse is they hang a bunch of crap on it. And so, you know, taking off the doghouse is not as easy because you got all these wires and tubes and stuff like that, like just attached. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. One thing I'll probably do is pull the radiator soon. I don't know about today. I don't know if I have the energy for that. But I'm going to at least get these aftermarket parts off and possibly pull some stuff on here. And then I should really take the front seat out. But I always leave it in because we have to push it somewhere and then, you know, drive it. So I might just leave it in. But most of the damage is on this side anyways. But yeah, we're going to keep digging in here. Alright, so I did 2 test samples. One with some spray and oven cleaner, not the foaming aerosol type, but just a regular liquid. That's all they had at the store. And you could see that I was able to scrape the glue off in this little parameter right here. Nothing crazy, but you could see, you know, some shreddings there. But it did take the glue off pretty well. However, when we come over to a little test sample of the Airplane Paint Remover Ultra, and I didn't go crazy here, I just scraped a little bit. It took it straight down to the metal. I mean, it was like butter just coming off. So, you know, there could be some, you know, if I wanted to like spray and try to get some of this glue off, maybe I could actually do that with the liquid, but I think the chemicals are too harsh to be above my head doing stuff. So I'm not really into that. Maybe these little side trims might be cool to do. But other than that, not too worried about it. But at least I know how this stuff works now. And Yeah, I might need gallons and gallons and gallons of this stuff to strip this thing, but it does work. Not sure if I want to actually use this for inside here. I was kind of testing it just to see the paint and the glue all in one. Obviously I'll use it for the outside, that's fine. But for in here, the problem is when you go to scrape it off, because of all the bows and bends and ledges, you could see like it's hard to get the edges. You know, it's going to be very inconsistent trying to scrape this stuff off. So this might be a situation where I actually sandblast the back of the vehicle here, or maybe the whole floor. I don't know. People say sand gets in everywhere, but honestly, there's really nowhere for the sand to go. If I tape up the sides, and I'm not even sure if there's anywhere to go in there either. There's not really a lot of nooks and crannies in this place. So I don't know. We'll see. That will be another test on another day. Do a little sandblasting, but coming together. So we got our pipe out. The next thing that's a little bit difficult is there's no guide pins for these newer EFI exhaust manifolds, and there's only one hole going through, so I have to really watch myself as I loosen these bolts and to get this thing off and make sure I just don't drop one. So it'd be easier to do with two people, but we should be able to figure it out. What's interesting is you can see the original red primer on that whole side, and then this whole side there's no red primer. But there's no problems, but there's no primer. So kind of interesting. Quality control. So definitely looks like we're doing two patches, pretty much this whole section and then a small section here. I don't really know if I'm going to run the main engine harness cable back through here. Possibly. Haven't really thought about it yet. Depends if I'm having everything located up in the dash area or if it's going to be mounted back here somewhere. Freaking tall engine, man. Huge. We used some 80 grit garnet, and you could see that it was taking it down to the primer, which that's fine, but it just really it wouldn't take this stuff off. It took the glue off. I'm like highly disappointed. So I haven't done blasting since I was like 15 years old. So I'm just really like, I was messing around, and that took forever too to do that. That was like, didn't do much. And I was adjusting pressures and all sorts of stuff, and it didn't do much. So Maybe I'll buy a bigger grit and come back and do stuff, but for the most part, I think I'm going to use the 80 on stuff like this, where it's a little bit more fragile, and I just want to clean up, you know, little parts like the light piece that goes in here, or the headlamp domes and stuff like that, because this ain't working for that. Gas tank, you know, I didn't want to shoot the gas tank, but now I'm like, oh, this is barely doing anything. This would be perfect for the gas tank. So I bought enough, I bought about 100 pounds, so might as well use it somewhere. I'm trying to recycle as much as I can too, but not sure that's going to work, but we'll see. And yeah, so I did decide to shoot a little bit in the corners of the doors, but as you can see, like, you know, it's not like the paint's all missing in the corner or anything. Over here I got a little bit more. You could see kind of that dusting action, but didn't really get any of that. And you can't really see while you're doing this either. I did this, but you can see how it's just barely getting to the primer. So, learning as I go here. But yeah, I hit that door frame in the middle, and it didn't even do anything. Like, it didn't even chip the paint or anything. So yeah. Oh, and then I did this sticker, which I'm really glad I did, because it gives me directions on how the doors work. But it didn't take the sticker off. It only took the glue off so I could get to the sticker. So yeah, not cool. Well, well, well. It's a little bit of chaos over here. Little bit of chaos. So we got this probably the best I'm gonna get it. And since this is a test piece, I'm kind of leaving a little bit of stuff, and then I'm going to do a phosphorus acid wash with a Scotch-Brite and see how well that does on here. And I bet that's going to clean most of this off. So, and then protect it. So we're going to kind of work on that. Did a pretty good job. Got most of the crud out of the little divot areas. But the sides are a little bit rough, but not too rough. And this side I was having a little bit of paint left over, but we'll see. See how it goes. And probably see if I could do this tomorrow morning when it's nice and cool out, and spend a good half an hour doing this. Now, this has kind of been interesting, this whole process, because this is kind of my test piece of everything. What tool? So we use the, I don't know, the Contour SCT, I think it's called. We've used the paint stripper tool on a grinder. We've used a pneumatic angle grinder with a, I don't know, 2-inch or 1.5-inch wheel. Now we're going to do the acid wash. We haven't done any paint stripper in this part yet, but I've done it on other things. So, like, you know, this is the test piece. Now, I got 8 hours into this test piece, and it's still a piece of crap. So I'm not thrilled about that. Like, I'd rather just drop it off and have someone deal with it, or have the proper tools to do it right. And you think, like, I do have the proper tools, but, you know, guess not. Or, you know, I never expected to spend that much time on this, but we're figuring it out. So, you know, that being said, as you can see over here, I need to take all this paint off, and I decided, well, let me get the areas I can't get. So I blasted the side, I blasted right around the holes, I blasted in the corner. So use the right tool for the right job, and then I'll just use stripper and let the stripper take it off. I mean, the stripper would have gotten the corners too, but you know, just learning my tools, figuring it out. So I'm using 80 garnet, which is barely doing anything. And originally I was like, man, I do not want to blast on this gas tank. This stuff is so like, it's barely even touching it, that maybe I'll do that. But I think I'm going to do paint stripper first and see how that goes. And the paint stripper seems to really clean stuff up well. And then, you know, maybe Scotch Brite with, you know, the phosphorus or something else to kind of get it all finished. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, the idea at this point is I'm no longer interested in working on the van itself, because I can't deal with this. I can't get to my tools. I can't, like, I need to measure the wheel wells, and my jack is 5 layers in. Like, I just can't deal with that. So I need to start processing all this stuff that's out. And so now we're going to hop on the windows, and we're going to see if we could finish these today. That would be awesome. But make a major dent in it, maybe get all the flat glass, and then deal with the round glass afterwards. Of course, I'm working on the pan, get that done, because the idea is if I could get the glass finished, then I could go put it away in a bedroom somewhere, you know, and store it for the next year and a half. If I get this pan finished, then I could mess around with my epoxy paints, my polyesters, you know, do a finished piece before I buy, you know, 3 gallons of something, and just finish it up, do a test piece, and see how it works, see how it holds up. Same thing with the gas tank. Get it finished, get it painted. I'm assuming that's going to be black. This could be black, this could be orange. I'm not really sure yet. And that's something I got to make a decision on soon. I've been messing with what it would look like if my headlight things and the front grille here were, let's say, black or chrome, or, you know, like different motifs, if you will, to see what it will look like. And I'm doing that like on a, you know, like a Photoshop type program. And there's definitely some vehicles where that stuff looks really, really cool. So I don't know. We'll see. I do like the chrome / polished look more than anything else. So we're getting close on that. But there's a lot of things like these headlight domes, the taillight, I don't want to call it a dome, but whatever it's called, backing plate. A lot of this stuff I could just clean up right now, call it a day, get it sealed, get it painted, and again, put it in a box, store it away, get it out of here. That's kind of what I really need to do to get all this cleaned up. And man, I just wish I had 2 more bays that were separated so I could have this car out of here and have my daily driver out of here, and then have enough space to do whatever I want to do and make noise and dust and not care about anything. But that's not the way this is all going. So we will see. We will see.